What we're going to do now is talk about the actual unit and the buttons on it and some of the features with it. You'll notice on the right hand side you've got your green light, which is obviously your power, and it's also red when the battery is charging. To the right of that you've got a speaker. Now this is just a speaker, there is no microphone in this unit, so if you want to record audio you need to plug in a camera with a microphone. You've got your setup button, and if I press that you can see it takes you straight to the setup screen. If you want to go back you can press the stop button, which is like the back button as well. To the left of the stop button you've got the photo button. What this allows you to do is when you're recording footage you can press the photo button at any time and it will take a JPEG image for you. I'll show you that in a little while. Below the photo buttons into the center you've got the volume up and volume down, which speak for themselves, and in the middle you've got a rocker switch. What you can see, it moves left and right and up and down. Now for this I'll just move it down and you can see it's like a little joystick. At the bottom, this circle here, that is the sensor for the infrared remote control, which I'll show you a little bit later on. Moving to the top, you have got your AV in and AV out for different cameras, and they're 3.5mm 4-pole female ports. You've got a manual record button if you want to press it with your finger, a hold button, and what this allows you to do is on the front screen here you can see there's a lock. If I press the hold button across you can see the lock keys come on, and if I try now move the rocker switch it won't allow me to. So I'll take it off for the purposes of obviously demonstrating. And obviously you've seen the on off switch. This one here is for another remote control, but this one's for a lead, which you'll also see a little later on. So you've got two remote controls with this unit. On the right hand side you can see you've got a little LED here which illuminates when the unit is recording to let you know it's recording, and you've also got another port, and this is for a 2.5mm 5V cam. So if you've got a little pinhole camera you can plug it in there, and that's where you can record from that camera from. On the left hand side you've got the SD socket, and this one's got an SD card in, and you've also got the DC power and the USB port behind this rubber clip here, and it's just a case of pulling out like so and pushing it back in. To the bottom you've got the reset button, and there's a tab on here saying if the seal's broken obviously your warranty is void, so make sure that don't get knocked. And on the back you've obviously got the battery compartment here, and a little feature I like here is it's like a picture frame, so you can actually pull that out and stand it up like so if you want to view it off a table. It's quite a nice little thing what they've decided to put into the system. Right, looking at the main menu you'll see along the bottom you've got a pie chart here. This pie chart tells you how much storage you've got, and because I've picked SD storage it's come up with SD storage, and it's because I've got using the SD card, and that will obviously disappear as you start using space up. To the right of that you've got the time, and I've set the time and you can see it's 0736. You've already seen the lock. Next to that you've got a little clock, and that's if you're doing timer recording. This unit does allow you to do timer recording. You can see it saying SD because I'm using SD card to record instead of the hard drive, and you can see my battery's full. So they're the buttons and the functions and the ports, and this is the main screen. Right, we're going to talk a little bit more about the main menu now, and we're going to start off in the video. Video is where you can view what you've filmed. So I'm on video, press the rocker switch, and you can see you get a thumbnail there showing a part of what you've just recorded, and it'll give you the quality and duration and time and so forth. You can see using the rocker switch I've recorded 2 little bits on here so far, and to view that you just highlight it so it's black and then press the rocker switch and you can see the footage. To go back you just press the stop button, which is the back button. You can also fast forward, so I'll start it again, and to fast forward you just use the rocker switch and you can see that's fast forward, and to pause it again and run and then go back, press the back button again all the way. The next one we're going to look at is image. An image, as if we've already said, you can take photo JPEGs. Click on image and you can see I've already got one on here, and it's of my dogs. I'm just testing what the picture quality is like in the house, looking through the night sight and the scope, and you can see it's quite good. So go back all the way to the main menu. Next to record. Record is where you'd go if you just want to record normal. So I'm on record and you can see it opens up the 4 different types of recording you can do. Preview, which is basically normal. Pre-event was if you've scheduled something to come on at a certain time, what you can do is set a time difference. So if you set it to come on and record at a certain time, maybe 5 seconds before, it'll start recording. Also, if you press the record button, what it will do is record whatever time difference you've set, and it can be like 5 or 15 seconds prior. So it just ensures that whatever you're trying to record, you do capture it. Pre-motion, this allows you to set again that if it picks up motion, that you can set a time difference that it will record just prior to motion being detected, so it makes sure it captures everything. And obviously you've got motion detection there because it can be used, as we've already said, as a covert recorder. To go back, it's just to the back button to stop. Obviously your settings, click on them, and this is where you can set your settings for the different types of recording. Now all the menus are just about the same, so we'll go to preview. Now preview, like I said, is like the normal one, is the one me and Davy will use. So I'll click on that and you can see you've got your different resolutions there, from the lowest one at 352 by 288 going up to the highest one at 1280 by 960 HD resolution. Quality, you've got your high or normal or low. I keep it on high, I want the best quality I can. Frame rate, now you can go from 1, 5, 15, 20 or better than 25 it states. 30 is what they say is real time, so that basically there isn't anything higher on here than 25, but it is real time. Audio, you can enable it or disable it. I've enabled it, and that all depends, as I said, if you've got a camera with a microphone. And you can have a frame counter. Now if you go back up here, and I've got it on at 25 frames per second, if you've got frame counter set to on, what this will do is every frame it'll take give it a number, and because I've got it on better than 25 frames a second, I'm going to have lots of numbers, so I've just turned that off. Same with a timestamp, you can put a timestamp on it, and you do set the date and time. You can see the date at the time's already done, and the date I've set as well, but I don't really need a time and date stamp. Same way I don't need a device stamp ID just telling me what sort of device it is. And you can see I've got the display to LCD. You can have LCD, TV or both, but I just leave it on LCD. Microphone sensitivity, this is a new bit they've added to the PV1000, and what it allows you to do is, if you're working in an environment where there's a noisy background and you've got a camera fitted with a microphone, you can click on that, and at the bottom now, just here, you can see you get a microphone icon come up. Using the plus and minus volume buttons, you can see you can set now So if you're in a really noisy environment, you can turn the microphone up and it'll still be sensitive enough to pick up whatever's happening over the noise. But I just leave it 2 or 3, it's fine for me. And then I press the back button to come out of it. Overwrite, you can either enable this or disable this. Because I'm using an SD card, basically what happened is if I got to the 32GB part on the card, so it was full, and I was still recording, it would then go back to the start of the first footage what I filmed in order and rewrite over it. But I've just got it on disable. And that's back to the start of the settings again. So I'll press the back button and you can see if I click on the next one, they're just about all the same. The difference on this one though, because it's pre-event, you'll get a pre-event duration. So on this it's at standard as 15, you can have it 30, 15 or 30 seconds, but because I don't use it. Pre-motion the same then, almost the same settings, but you can see the pre-event time is set for 5 seconds, so it will capture something 5 seconds before the event or you pressing record. You can have it to 15 seconds, 30 seconds or back to 5. 5 seems fine to me. And if you're using motion detection, you can set your level, medium, low or high. I just left it on medium because that's what it came as standard. So go back, there's your motion detection, same again, set it up again. Motion detection duration, how long you want it to record for after it picks up motion. So it's on 3, you can have 5, 10 minutes or 30 seconds. So I'll leave it on 3 minutes because that's what it was standard. And what you can see on this one, you get motion detection zone. I'll just press this and you'll see you get this box picture here. What this allows you to do is, if you're using this as a covert nanny camera recorder and you've got it set up in your house and you've got something what moves, let's say a fish tank with fish in or bubbles from the fish tank, what you can do is it'll show you the picture if it was recorded to a camera. Let's say that where the square is now with the red line around it, that was the fish tank. You can block that out and what it'll do is it won't detect or it won't look at any motion in that area there, and it just stops the camera constantly recording if there's fish swimming around. It's a really good and handy little bit of software they've added in. So I'll press the back button and again, date and time. This is where obviously I said you can do the date and time, which I have done, and you can see it's the 5th of January now and the time now is 07:48, 07:49. Format, I've got it in the day, month and year. Obviously the language is English. Recording mode, you can change the recording modes there. I'll just leave it in normal. Different things you can use for timer recording, which I will never use. You can have a daily timer, which would be an event. Backlight duration time, at the moment I've got it set on 3 minutes, but you can set to have it no backlight, 30 seconds, 1 minute or 3 minutes. The reason I've got it on 3 minutes, I don't want it to keep turning off as I'm talking. But if you have it on no backlight, it's being ideal for covert situations, or if you're actually out using night vision equipment and you've not got this in a case or in your pocket and you don't want to illuminate, basically the screen won't be on at all. Storage, you can see you've got SD card, which I'm using, or the hard drive. Let's leave it on SD card, and you can see whichever you pick because it comes up here like I've already said. Storage information, it's basically just telling you about the card and how much room you've got left on it, and the capacity icon, which is the storage pie chart here, that's on. Format the card, you can do, I'm not going to do, and you can see you can use it in Europe on the PAL system, or in America on the NTCS or SC I should say system. I'll put it back on PAL. Some adjustments for your TV out. Display, I've obviously got it on LCD. Video playback, you can play one of your files what you recorded. You can repeat one, repeat all, put all, but I just leave it as one because one was what came as standard. Video thumbnail, as you saw when I looked at my videos that I recorded, this is where you turn the thumbnail on, and also an image thumbnail if you take a photo. It's nice to actually be able to, oh yeah, that's the photo I need, and you won't be able to do that if you'd had them turned off. If you're doing a slideshow, you can basically tell it what you want it to be in the slideshow and the duration between pictures. And obviously there you've got your firmware update. Page 6 of 7 is the factory settings, so you can go back to factory settings, and because it can be used covertly, you can also have a power on password, so it won't turn on without a password, and you can set your password. And also the same to actually connect it to a computer, so it won't connect to a computer until you put in the correct password if you set it. It's because you don't want people seeing what you've recorded, because they could delete it. You can create logs, and it will tell you obviously a list of what videos or what pictures and how long for, and you can say where you want it to go, either on the hard drive or on the actual SD card. Obviously, like I say, we won't use that. And then it just tells you the last bit, your device information. So that's it, and that's back now to the main menu. This is the PV1000 now connected through my scope on the night sight NS200, and it's set in daytime mode, so there's obviously no IR. You can see I'm looking at the church at the bottom of my garden at 57 meters, and that's a really nice clear picture. In a second, what I will do is I'll zoom in, and this is starting on ×4 magnification all the way up to ×16 magnification. You can see the mill dots are nicely still in focus, and the back wall, you can see all the actual texture to the bricks. It's a very clear picture through the night sight, and you can see now why I've said in other videos how clear the actual footage is in the LCD screen of the night sight. And now you can see as I pan up as well into the backfields, right down into the distance, it's still all nice and clear. Here you'll see a view of a pigeon looking over my back fence to a tree at 52 meters. See the wood pigeon sat in the tree quite happily, and I'm zooming in from 4 again up to ×16 magnification. You can see the picture's nice and clear. The bit what's not in focus is a branch what's in the foreground, and as I zoom back out slowly, it looks like the pigeon suspects a bit of danger and he cocks his head up. Right, I'm outside my house now, and I'm looking down my 27-yard outdoor range. And what I intend to do, because the wind's dropped a slight bit, and it's, I'd say, a mild breeze now, I'm going to attempt to check zero the Edgar Brothers XVI. It's been a few months since I've used it, so I'm going to shoot down 27 yards with a night sight fitted and recording through the Lawmate PV1000, and you'll see some daytime footage shooting but only at targets. So I'll press pause now on the camera on the tripod, and the rest of the footage you'll see will be through the actual Lawmate system. This is a view looking up my garden at 27 yards to my outdoor range, and you can see I'm just zooming in now till around about 12 magnification, and I'm going to test zero by picking a pellet mark at the bottom there and firing a shot with the Edgar Brothers XVI. You can see that's pellet on pellet, and it hits the same mark. What I'm now going to do is zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to pick various bottle tops what I've actually put up at 27 yards. I'm going to attempt to shoot them with the .22 caliber rifle, recording through the PV1000, starting off with the green bottle top. You can see that's no problem whatsoever. Reloading and picking the next target, which is going to be the orange bottle top suspended on some wire. You see that's no problem either. I'll do a couple of more for you. There's one at the bottom. This is suspended on wire, and it is actually hit. And you can see, if you look carefully, there was an hole put through on the 7 o'clock position, but it didn't move. I'll come back to that a little later on, and next time I do destroy it. So there's a little tiny beer bottle top. No problem at all. and you can see the actual grain in the wood and the back fence. It's a real quality recorder, as I've been saying. Now it's a tiny bottle top what's been shot many times, so there is a chance that the pellet could have gone through, but it didn't. I'm now going to shoot the bottom of the can, like so. Zooming out to check if there's any targets left, and I decide I'm going to have a retry at the green bottle top. And you can see now in the 7 o'clock position there is a pellet hole in it, and this time I hit it and I believe it knocks it off like so. I zoom back out again, back down to ×4 magnification. You can see it's a really nice clear picture. Right, it's really dark outside now. There's a lot of cloud cover, so there's not much ambient light whatsoever, and I'm at 57 meters looking at the church, what we've seen in the daytime at the bottom of my garden, and I'm going to zoom in from 4 up to ×16 magnification. You can see it's still nice and bright, and you can still see the brickwork texture quite easily. I zoom back out now to ×10, because ×10 is a nice magnification to use, especially in the day, but the night sight does enable you to use it at night time if you require, especially at this range. You can see it's nice and bright, and any vermin you would be shooting within air rifle ranges would be well illuminated using the night sight system. This is me on the back garden range again, and I'm on ×12 magnification on the scope. You see I've just put a fresh pellet hole in the metal backstop, and I recock again just to double check I'm still zeroed, which you can see it's pellet on pellet. I then zoom out to ×8 magnification, which brightens up the picture quite considerably, and there is some bottle top targets what I've placed out on the backstop, same as I did in the day. I'm just going to shoot one for you, which will be the bottom left target of the ones I'm pointing at now. You can see that's no problem. Right, I'm in one of my permissions now, which is the barn. I'm trying to find some rats or mice or feral pigeons to show you on camera. You can see the quality of the picture, and as I come up into the rafters and scan across on ×4, I see this bird of prey. So I zoom in to around about ×8 magnification, and you can see he's sat there quite happily waiting for a mouse or a rat to pop out so he can have his supper. You can see he's a lovely bird, and like I said before, the rifle's not loaded. There's not even a magazine in it. It's just footage we're after on this day. A lovely bird, and I'll get yet again a lovely picture. This is me at the same permission but a different location, and I'm outside looking for rats. What I do come across though is the farmer's geese. I'm on ×4 magnification at the moment with the night sight set on about intensity 3 on the IR. I only have to zoom in a little bit, look, and it brings the geese really close. You can see I don't need the night sight on full, plenty of illumination, and the picture is really clear. I'm a little bit further down on the farm now, and I'm in the horse field, and you can see where the crosshair is now. There's an eye of a rabbit. The horse is around about 80 or 90 yards away. I'm on ×6 magnification, and you can see there's plenty of illumination. The night sight is on its full IR setting. But you can see the lights in the background now. They're a couple of miles away. Come over the top of the horses so not to put the crosshair on them, and you can see the tree and the fence line right at the back of the field, and this is well over 250 yards away. As I move left, I pick up an eye of a rabbit. Remember, I'm on ×6 magnification still, so I zoom in, and I actually zoom in to ×16 magnification, which makes the picture darker but allows me to adjust the adjustable objective lens to focus the rabbit's eye, and when I do that you can also see that full outline of the rabbit at that range. I'm now zooming back out to around about ×6 magnification, and then slightly in again. This is me at a different location, and I'm just looking across a horse paddock towards where the large stable is, just seeing if there's any rabbits at a closer range to film for you. On this particular night though, there was nothing out, which quite surprised me because it was quite a nice calm night, and I thought there'd have been at least 1 or 2 in the field, but there wasn't. But you can see yet again, picture nice and clear.